Ladies and gentlemen, it appears that the internet has officially lost its mind once again, specifically with the appearance of Robert Harward, a retired Vice Admiral and Navy SEAL. He appeared on Fox's America's Newsroom to discuss the U.S. Iran conflict. But this story isn't about what he had to say about the conflict. It's about was he or was he not wearing a prosthetic mask? You be the judge and watch this clip.
I need you to watch this video and look at this man's neck.
In the eyes of the Iranian people, but the world global economy, which they're holding all hostage to, the more everybody comes to realize this is all about the IRGC.
So that was Vice Admiral Robert Harwood on Fox News, or so we're supposed to believe. But does anybody's neck look like that? Look at my neck. Do you see a flap there? Do you see a separation on my neck on any level? No, you do not, because that is a human neck. And what we saw there looks a lot like a mask. And that is probably fitting Fox's MO perfectly. That is what they do. They bring on these people as these expert witnesses on Fox News, and they give all this testimony and all these claims, and they're just recycling the same guest. And apparently this guy's been a feature because they've had to put a mask on this guy so they can't tell who it is. And if you look at this man and you look at the actual Vice Admiral, the Vice Admiral has a little more wear and tear on his face over years. He's about 70. I think he's 69 years old. That, to me, let me know if I'm wrong, looks like a mask.
At what point are people just going to start accepting, believing, and acknowledging that they've been here, they're here, and they're not even hiding it anymore? They're putting it directly in your face.
The eyes of the Iranian people, but the world global economy, which they're holding all hostage to, the more everybody comes to realize this is all about the IRGC. At the end of the day, we're going to have to need a government that not only hands over the nuclear material, stops threatening the Straits of Hormuz, but quits exporting the...
As someone who's been on a film set the majority of their life, I know a prosthetic mask when I see a prosthetic mask. Also, people usually blink. If you know anything about Bob Howard, he was offered a very high-ranking position of National Security Advisor and turned it down. You can connect the dots. Everything shown in this video was nationally televised and is not intended to spread misinformation. Therefore, I am not spreading misinformation. Anything spoken about was for entertainment, education, and conversation purposes only.
And within minutes of that airing, the internet exploded. It went viral quickly online, and people weren't talking about what he had to say. They were obsessing over how he looked. Is that a mask? Why does his face look frozen? This cannot be real. And just like that, the internet turned into a digital detective agency fueled by screenshots, slow motion clips, and of course, conspiracy theories and caffeine because people would not leave it alone. Welcome to modern America, where nobody debates policy anymore because apparently we're all amateur Hollywood makeup experts now. So we have officially entered the era of manufactured reality, and people just lose their minds. Every week now, social media grabs onto another bizarre theory and runs with it, but they run it straight into the ground. The target this time is Robert Harward. After that appearance on Fox News, people were convinced they were watching Mission Impossible instead of cable news. People were zooming in on forehead wrinkles, analyzing blinking patterns, comparing ear shapes, and talking about silicone texture. Silicone texture? Well, to me, if you looked at the neck, it looked like something was wrong. My neck doesn't do that. It looked like a flap. It looked like he had something pulled over his head. But apparently, they're saying no, it was just some kind of video glitch or camera angle glitch that made it look like he was wearing a mask. Well, some people actually believe that he was, for some reason, covering up his appearance. The clip started spreading, and immediately comment sections began to explode. Thousands of people claiming He's definitely wearing a mask. That is not the real person. Why are they trying to hide it? Look at the cheeks. Look at the eyes. Look at the neck. This is not real. But that's what social media does now. One wrong camera angle and everything blows into a big conspiracy theory. And an overexposed television light or a cameraman who was just off a hair may show something that's not really there. But I'm not a forensic analyst. I have no idea. I'm going by what I saw, and that's exactly what you just saw. It looked to me like something was wrong with his neck. It looked like he had a Halloween mask pulled over his head. And if that's the case, why? You can search Robert Harward all over the internet and find out who he actually is. And he certainly looks like that. Although he's just about 70 years old, can his skin really be that smooth? Does he use Botox? Does he get injections? Is he part of the Hollywood bigger picture where he wants to make himself look younger for online TV appearances? I don't know. I'm just reporting what I see. This is entertainment reality. Politicians do it, actors do it, and everyday people do it. They go in and they get Botox, they get fillers, they get lip injections to make themselves look like something they are not. But then it appears to say people think this is some hidden operation. People start questioning power. Why is he doing this? And why on Fox News when they're the ones who supposedly have all the facts? Now, I watch Fox News. I don't like CNN. I don't like MSNBC. But conspiracy clips like that, they get engagement. And to me, it's entertaining because it's funny to see how people react when they see something like that. It was an interview about the war, and not one part of what he had to say people talk about. They didn't mention one word because they probably didn't hear anything he said because they were just staring at his neck and instantly going online and looking up pictures of him. Can it be? Why are they covering this man's face? Is he a secret agent? Is he with the CIA? What is happening? The entire American population sees this day in and day out with actors, actresses, singers, and everybody is doing this. This is a Hollywood thing. They don't want to age gracefully. They just want to make themselves look younger. So if you're 70, you're going to try to look like you're 50. Is it that much of a difference? So this is where we are in today's society. Someone goes online to do an interview, and it looks like he's wearing a mask, and suddenly the internet explodes. Well, I'm here to tell you, I'm not going to go down a rabbit hole with this. I know what I saw, and to me, again, it looked like a mask. But the real issue is, why would he wear a mask? If that was a person with the mask on, who was it? And why is he pretending to be someone he's not? Those are questions that Fox News needs to answer, and those are questions that Robert Harward needs to answer, because I don't have the answers. But the government lies, the media lies, corporations lie. We see it every day, day in and day out, and of course, celebrities are full of lies. The skepticism is healthy. Constant paranoia destroys a society's ability to think rationally. Was this real or was it fake? You be the judge and let me know in the comments what you think.